Have any of you ever watched a documentary?
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle!
One of San Francisco's thorniest problems is how to grow and still keep its charm. Part of the city's charm is its view, and therein lies a problem. Dillingham said, "Fuck the view."
In our investigation, we discovered that some of Satan's soldiers are also high-ranking officers in the United States military.
When Civil War experts examined a century-old photograph showing soldiers posing with what appeared to be a massive winged creature, they expected to debunk another hoax. Instead, they turned pale as advanced imaging revealed details that would rewrite military history and expose a psychological warfare operation lost to time.
They didn't think we were ready for Tajeli.
Ready for the... I love you. I didn't think J-Lo would ever force to get mentioned in this way.
Beyonce, bro.
He's right.
Controversy.
What they do with the artists is easy. They send the stylist at them first.
Yeah.
And if the stylist is like, if the stylist report back and be like, oh, he ready, then they invite you to the party. And that's when they be like, yo, look, you go in here, it's gonna be some, know what I mean?
There are non-human beings walking amongst us right now.
This can't be a human being. Watch this. Watch the eyes. Oh no, she's either possessed or that's a reptilian. Watch this. She's watching. Can I show my true form?
They just found 60 missing children that were in Florida, y'all. Yes, I said 60. And the crazy part is where they found these children at. You wouldn't believe.
Holy shit. You can't tell me that this isn't suspicious. So Virginia Guthrie, who is Prince Andrew and Epstein's accuser and victim, and she's been very public about being so, has allegedly unalived herself on Friday. Now, bear this in mind, this is the same girl who recently got hit by a bus.
A blind man, Mr. Hetler, was put by the Biden administration to be the director of the government oversight, and now he's testifying that he did not see any fraud.
Zuckerberg and his wife funded a research study. They went out and gathered up 100 white-tailed deer and then PCR tested them all for COVID and then injected them all with the mRNA vaccines from Pfizer with this company called Zoetis, and then went and did 100 million animals. 100 million doses have been administered at that point.
Live in Malibu, California, I want you to please help me comprehend this. How this home is completely burned to the ground and I got green grass right here.
In the book, Freemasons Magazine and Masonic Mirror Volume 4, this is from the 1800s, a Masonic publication, it says on page 399,
the brothers and fellows of the Freemasons are the Scholastici and Coadutors Spirituales of the Jesuits.
Yeah, they told us to wash the waters, and now for some reason, the waters cannot stop coming. They are literally coming out of everywhere. This is somewhere in Colombia. It seems that the earth is literally shifting, y'all. I'm talking about physically.
This guy right here caught this helicopter spraying some sort of chemical into the rivers. And this is what's happening.
Ya solo encima también.
Dame un grr.
¿Qué?
Un grr.
¿Quieres hacer en uno, no?
Dame un tu ta ta tu ta tu tu.
Okay.
You want to see the difference between real garment and a fake one? Let's talk about the floods in China and the floods in Texas.
Obama's chef passed away in 3 feet of water in a pond. He was 5'10", top swimmer, clean toxicology, and no real answers.
How Republicans kept saying that their health care cuts wouldn't hurt anybody right away. Well, they lied. It turns out hospitals are already closing, people are already losing their health insurance, and it's only been 2 weeks since Trump signed the bill.
What is the truth? Because I hear back and forth. I mean, do pediatricians get incentivized with percent vaccination of their...
Yes.
Epstein flees to Israel while he negotiates his deal with Acosta. Some question why he was allowed to even keep his passport while his team is undergoing negotiation with the federal government.
Can you explain how normal that is?
That is not normal.
There's a whole African tribe at war with mermaids.
Watch
So the
this.
tribe is called the Rele tribe, or some might call them the Mercy people that live in Ethiopia.
The crazy thing is, y'all, it didn't even rain that hard, but somewhere there's a lot of water coming up. Like, is it coming from underneath the ground? Look at this, y'all. What is now, you know that there are mountains, so this caused a massive landslide as well, y'all. Look at this. Check this out. Just hear that water roaring, y'all. That is powerful. Now, have you seen what's going on in Santo Domingo, Medellin, y'all? They got the whole Charlie and the Chocolate Factory out there, y'all. Look at this. Y'all, we're literally in the times of Noah, y'all. Look at that, y'all. The mud flood. Oh, my goodness. This is crazy. Why is it coming in like waves like that? And again, it barely rained, so what is triggering this landslide? Wow. I'm telling y'all, our life is literally a movie. Yeah, and it keeps coming. And it keeps coming. Oh my goodness. Is that a... What is that? I thought that was a person. That's just some boxes. But nonetheless, this thing just keeps coming.
So recently in Guizhou, China, record-breaking rain flooded the region. But in 48 hours, 91,000 people evacuated, thousands of troops, firefighters, engineers, medics, militia, all on site. Boats, drones, mobile kitchens, shelters mobilized instantly. Only 6 people died. Because when disaster hits in China, the state moves as one. No red tapes, no excuse, just result. Now let's look at Texas. Same kind of rainfall, 100+ people died. No flood siren, no coordination, no help, at least in the beginning. The state deployed just 2,200 personnel. FEMA showed up late with forms and loans. That was it. I watched the interview. The Texas governor said, "We are overwhelmed." And the White House, "It's God's will." Are you kidding me? You literally have the budget to send ICE agents to raid neighborhoods, arrest hardworking people without paper. But you cannot send boats rescue your own citizens from drowning. And then, guess who showed up? Mexicans. The Mexican rescue team. The Mexico came to help Texas. While ICE agents still out arresting Mexicans. And one thing I don't understand, where are the hell with all these so-called patriots? The Proud Boys, the Patriot Frown, those Texas nationalists who scream about independence and honor? Why those people don't show up? And those MAGA boats, those MAGA boat parade guys, you guys have boats. Where are you guys? You got the boat when it's time to show off, but you're just sitting at home watching TV? Maybe just too fat? You guys probably don't even do any donations. You know, all big talk. These guys are not patriots. They are cosplayers with the internet. So here's the thing. This flood was not just a natural disaster. It was a miracle. China sent troops. Mexico sent help. America sent excuses and blame to something else. And the loudest patriots, they were just too busy hiding behind the flag instead of help real people.
Name one time Trump was racist. Okay, I will. 1973, the Nixon administration sued Trump for refusing to rent to black people. 1980s, Trump's casinos were accused of hiding the black staff when Trump visited. 1989, Trump took out a full-page ad arguing for the death penalty for a group of 5 black men at Central Park 5, effectively putting a bounty on their heads and plaguing them with a lifetime of death threats. He was sued by the Justice Department for discrimination. 1991, black guys counting my money I hate it. The only kinds of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes every day. I think that the black guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. 1992, Trump's casino was fined $200,000 for transferring black dealers off certain tables to appease racist patrons. 1993, Trump said Native American casinos shouldn't be allowed because they don't look like Indians to me. 2000, Trump ran a series of attack ads against Native American casinos alleging, with no proof, that they were guilty of crimes. 2004, Trump fired a black contestant from The Apprentice for being overeducated. 2010, Trump arguing in favor of segregating Muslims in Lower Manhattan. 2011, birtherism. Trump alleged that Obama was Kenyan based on nothing but skin color. He never apologized.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Yeah. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights off,
Okay,
first of
that's
all.
still a
And then
legitimate
there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No, don't. Get on the ground.
Stop fighting.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking. I was fucking talking shit, bro. I was doing it, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro.
Yes, bro.
You
Yes.
have a lawful reason, bro.
Big
knife center in here too. You gonna throw me blow like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off
now,
of you,
man.
bro.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't gonna too late.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit.
Sir, your partner didn't even ask.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is.
So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong, sir. Can you back me up to the car so I can clean up?
I find it ironic that the Cherokee Nation is come out and said that they made a mistake. What a fucking epic failure they did. Now they are ready to sue the United States of America due to the black indigenous people are Cherokee Nation. They are not from Africa. They are indigenous to the lands. Now, they don't get a thank you for finally recognizing them, right? Recognizing who our people are. They don't get a thank you for that because they knew what the fuck they was doing when they was doing it. You don't get a pat on the back or a thank you. But I feel like now they realize that if our people was a part of that tribe, they would have better communities because their reservations look like shitholes and trash. And black indigenous people can build that and will build that up. I believe they know what they're doing. Black American indigenous Cherokees don't need no recognition. They know who they are. And their ancestors, our ancestors, fought for these recognitions back in the day. But yet and still, we were treated horribly as indigenous people of Americas. They want to sue the United States to take the shit off their backs, knowing that the United States was the people that formed them to erase us. Oh, this gets so deep. I'm just going to sit back and watch it and laugh because this is what my ancestors would want me to do. Sit back, watch, and laugh. Now they're ready to welcome the black indigenous people to the tribal lands. But y'all say we're all from Africa. See, they know. These people know. Everybody in government, everybody in these nations, they know who we are. They don't want to accept it. Enjoy the show. And they don't want to accept it because they're the lies that they have told their generations is going to erase the fabrications of who the fuck they really are. Now you're going to have to start speaking the truth of who you really are.
Or that's a reptilian. Watch this. She's watching. Can I show my true form? They are amongst us, y'all. Could be your neighbor. Could be your cousin. You never know.
Controversy.
Members of this tribe have talked about how basically everyone is terrified of these mermaids. Yes, like real life mermaids. These people don't think that these are mythical creatures. These are real life things that's really going on over there. And they discussed how basically they are afraid that they might make the mermaids angry and the mermaids might take their family. Because you got to think, when the people are going to the river to wash clothes or to wash themselves and to get drinking water and stuff like that, they have to go to these rivers, and they're terrified that the mermaids will get them and take their family underneath with
They're
them.
definitely scared
And
of
something that was
something.
very interesting that I watched on the interview, and I'm going to tag the person below that showed the interview on here. They discuss how they only take the navel, so the belly button, and the tongue. So I don't know what that symbolizes, but basically, if you see a body out there and it's missing a tongue and a navel, they know that the mermaids got a hold of them. But yeah, they talk about how they try to stay away from them and how they just really are like terrified of these creatures, and that they're not like Ariel and the mermaids that we know and love. And I just find it so crazy how there's always different variations to these creatures. But yeah, to them, these creatures is nothing mythical, sweet, and pretty. They are terrifying.
This is the first I've ever heard of anything like this, but it's super interesting.
The glass plate negative arrived at Millbrook University's Digital Imaging Lab on a Tuesday morning, carefully transported from the Smithsonian's newly acquired Civil War collection. Dr. Elena Voss had fought for months to gain access to this particular artifact, the original photograph that had launched 1,000 conspiracy theories. Finally, she muttered, adjusting the high-resolution scanner. Her career depended on what they found in the next few hours. Marcus Kane's latest video had garnered 2.8 million views in 3 days, and the university board was losing patience with the ongoing controversy surrounding her department. Dr. Raj Patel leaned over the magnification display as the first ultra-high-resolution scan appeared. Elena, look at this. His voice carried an edge that made the room fall silent. He pointed to what should be the creature's eye. That's not biological tissue. That's a glass lens. Professor Catherine Mills rushed over, her photography expertise immediately confirming the shocking detail. And this texture here, the skin, it's canvas weave, not scales. The three academics exchanged glances in the sterile lab lighting. Dr. Voss straightened, her voice barely above a whisper. This changes everything. The next 6 hours transformed Dr. Elena Voss's cramped laboratory into a war room of historical detection. Every surface was covered with printouts, reference books, and magnified sections of the infamous photograph. The overhead fluorescent lights hummed as the team worked with methodical precision, documenting each revelation that emerged from the century-old glass plate. Look at this section here, Mills said, her finger tracing along the creature's wing membrane on the high-resolution display. See these regular patterns? That's not organic tissue. It's woven fabric, canvas specifically. She pulled up a textile database on her laptop. The weave pattern matches fabric manufactured by Whitman Mills in Philadelphia, 1862 to 1865. Patel had been examining the creature's internal structure through advanced digital enhancement. The skeleton is completely wrong for any known pterosaur or bird, he announced, but it makes perfect sense as a wire armature. Look. He highlighted thin lines running through the creature's body. That's telegraph wire, standard military issue for field communications. Voss felt her pulse quicken as she cross-referenced military procurement records on her tablet. The 15th Pennsylvania Cavalry Regiment, she read aloud. They purchased significant quantities of this exact canvas type in September 1863. She looked up at her colleagues. The same regiment that appears in this photograph. The implications were staggering, but Voss knew they needed more evidence before going public. Her phone buzzed with another notification. Kane's follower count had jumped to 2.4 million overnight. His latest video, titled "Government Historians Panic as Truth Emerges," was trending across multiple platforms. We can't rush this, Voss said, though every instinct screamed at her to publish their findings immediately. Incomplete evidence will just give him ammunition to claim we're fabricating a cover-up. Mills had been examining the creature's head through maximum magnification. Elena, you need to see this. The eye isn't just any glass lens. It matches the specifications for field photography equipment issued to Union Army documentation units. Same focal length, same mounting hardware. Dean Hayes chose that moment to call. Voss stepped into the hallway to take it, her stomach nodding as she heard his strained voice.
This together. They were attacking to go to the museums to find that out. Yes, absolutely.
Like Saddam Hussein?
Well, he had technology. He had hold of technology. He had hold of Stargate technology. That's one of the reasons why he was at one point, he was one of the most powerful men on the planet. And the technology that he had was off the charts.
Now, this is very similar to what John Irwin has said in his book, One Step Beyond the 16.
Yes, yeah. Yes, he had that. It's sort of similar to there's a movie called Contact, and that spinning thing there, which is able to shoot you through to different dimensions. So he had something similar to that. There's a few of them around, but he had control of that.
It's a trophy of the future. Yeah. It represents the past, the future, the present. It has quite a bit. it travels a little bit also, but I appreciate it.
Whatever you want, you call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right. And you know, something's wrong. It's a whole world of deceit. We're going into Iraq to get artifacts? Not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said.
But which artifacts?
I don't know. They just said artifacts. There were things in Iraq that were so old that we had to go get. And Bush wanted those artifacts. It was very important.
Did we get them, and if so, where did they go?
We got them. They said they got everything they needed from that country.
Where is it?
I don't know. We have it. Like, you're looking for the Ark of the Covenant type stuff. You know, weapons like that. It's a weapon. Supposedly it has the power to kill, and you're not supposed to look upon it or anything.
But the man who was talking about this never used any phrases like Ark of the Covenant.
Never. He just said artifacts. Ancient artifacts that were so important, we had to get them, and we got them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got them.
Yeah. So that is extremely not.
If you have money like that, you're a flight risk.
We do know that he was found with false passports that were inside of his house in New York City. So it's possible that he even.
What do you mean?
Yes. Yeah. Can you Google it, please, Joey? In the age of the barcode, there's no false passport. Okay. When's the last time you guys flew into America? Do you know how much biometric data and all that stuff is there? Like, this is not happening.
But like CIA can issue passports.
Yeah, CIA can issue a passport under that will clear State Department,
which would confirm the connections to intelligence.
So September 2007, Alex Acosta offers Epstein non-prosecution agreement despite massive evidence of a trafficking ring that crosses state lines, a textbook definition of a federal case.
While he's here or while he's away?
While he's in Israel. He must spend 18 months in the Palm Beach County Jail. He has weekend release. He's allowed 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to basically do whatever he wants. Under this non-prosecution agreement, the federal government grants immunity for all crimes that were under investigation of that indictment to Jeffrey Epstein and to all unindicted co-conspirators, including Ghislaine Maxwell.
But since that happened, not much has been discussed about it anymore. Because the media stopped asking. Suspect indeed. I will tell you this, though. I'm sure it was exactly as described by the mainstream media and that there's nothing else going on.
Dr. Paul Thomas has done a very good video on that, and many other paediatricians have followed. Maybe Dr. Hooker could answer better on that.
They're typically incentivized directly by HMOs. HMOs buy and sell vaccines, so vaccines are big businesses for HMOs. But the incentivization is usually anywhere from $200 to $600 per fully vaccinated patient, as long as their vaccines, a certain percentage of their practice is fully vaccinated. So some pediatricians can make upwards to $1 million or more a year just in those incentives.
I've also heard stories of pediatricians basically firing patients because they won't get vaccinated, because that is
correct.
We hear that story over and over again. And also the lies that the pediatrician tell us that our baby will die if we don't get vitamin K at birth. The baby will bleed out before it gets to the car. And these stories, if you don't get the HPV vaccine, then you will die of cancer. These parents have told us these stories, and they're the same over and over again. How can they get away with lying like that to us, the parents?
Have a look at this, guys. These fish are trying to literally beach themselves. There's a bunch of dead fish all around this river in the United States, and it's very interesting. This guy right here caught this helicopter spraying some sort of chemical into the rivers, and this is what's happening. This is literally what's happening in the US right now. Turtles are found being disintegrated, dead, bunch of dead fish in the rivers. And have a look at this. She throws a rock in the bottom of the river, the rock hits the bottom where all the chemicals are at, and you can see. We all know what gas looks like when it's in water and other harmful chemicals. This is what's happening in the United States. And the US has got approval, the US Army has got approval with the EPA to spray diquat in the water to control weeds, guys. This shit is crazy. We need to wake up right now. We need to wake up right now, because these are crimes against humanity and crimes against nature. They are trying to poison us.
Being published inside their literature. I had no idea. But when I discovered it, I was like, what? Why is no one talking about this? When I discovered it on Staten Island, Zuckerberg and his wife funded a research study. They went out and gathered up 100 white-tailed deer and then PCR tested them all for COVID. and then injected them all with the mRNA vaccines from Pfizer with this company called Zoetis, and then went and did 100 million animals. 100 million doses have been administered at that point all throughout the country, and no one knew it, and no one's talked about it. What's it going to be like when a hunter goes out and gets the deer and then brings home the venison they think's organic and wild? Wow. It's pretty disgusting, but I would be worried about that.
They're going to put that in their body when they eat it.
They're already injecting mRNA technology into vegetables, tomatoes, avocados, lettuce, Gavi. Bill Gates' foundation is already doing that. And in China, they're already mRNA injecting cattle for our beef supply.
This is crazy.
Can somebody please help me understand that? I'm not a real smart man, I'm not. But look at this. Does this grass just not burn or what? I mean, is this like fire retardant grass that doesn't burn? But the house is completely gone. Completely gone. The house over there is completely gone. And then over here, if you look back, the houses across the way have blue roofs. And they're not burnt up. So this is the conspiracy, guys. This is, I repeat, this is a directed energy weapon is what this is, okay? Plain and simple. This was not an act of God in any form of the fashion. This was an act of war by the United States government on the people here in Malibu, California. Look at them right there. Roof, perfectly fine. This is crazy. It's insanity. They wouldn't let me in, but I walked in behind everything. They don't want you to see this.
How is it possible that only the houses were destroyed? That's why.
She survived that even though she was given 4 days to live, and then she decided to unalive herself. But there's more. Weeks before her death, Virginia took to social media and said this: "I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape or form am I suicidal. I have made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me, in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted." Now, Prince Andrew disappeared off the face of the earth, and rightly fucking so, but the minute Virginia got hit by a bus, guess who was out parading on his horse again? I'm sorry, there is something seriously wrong here.
Controversy. They was not in no abandoned warehouse. They was not in the middle of nowhere. They were in regular homes, even motels. And some of the people that took them had them right in their homes. Right in their homes. Not a separate place, but in their home. Some of these joints was happening right next door. The operation was called Dragon Eye, and it is now being called one of the biggest child rescues in American history, y'all. So they said they used 20 different agencies, and it was over 100 police officers that went and found these children by the grace of God. They wasn't just missing. These children were going through the big T word. The sad part is, they said ages range from 9 all the way up to 17. And they said when they got these kids, a lot of them was drugged. And a lot of them was being prepped to be drugged. And you already know what they was doing to these children, y'all. They said some of the people that they caught that was involved, you would look at them and not even realize that them the type of people that be doing it. Like they said, you can look at them and never in a million years think, oh, it was them type of people. And Florida even gave a message to the people that's doing this and that still have children right now. They said, Florida is not the place. You're doing this, we're going to find out, we're going to find you, we're going to hunt you down, we're going to get our children back, and you're going to be put under the jail. This is what's mind-boggling to me. If they can find 60 kids in one suite, how many are still out there? How many are just right next door, hidden in plain sight? That's what I want to know.
So this is the scariest video I've ever done. Like, this might actually get me killed. Please, please save it, do edit, share it. The more people who know, the safer I am. This is Epstein level exposure. I'm going to call him the Epstein of Texas. So that call you just heard was with an investigator with the district attorney's office. She wasn't lying. Tarrant County is not part of the United States government. Now, how is this possible? There is a family. Their name is the Bass family. The Bass family is worth over $10.4 billion. They're also major stockholders in Disney. They are like company owning massive stockhold shares in Disney. They're also partnered with
the country music industry was to provide a cover for traveling to carry out the criminal CIA covert operations that I was to be involved in. Under the guise of the country music industry, I traveled as ordered to various military bases and NASA installations where I endured high-tech mind control programming. This included sleep, food, and water deprivation, severe trauma, high voltage to compartmentalize the memory, and hypnotic or harmonic programming.
It's a nigga at the door.
Okay, now look, what Ali Vegas is doing to you right now, he's giving you the game of how these niggas be getting turned out.
Yeah, like
they try to put this tight ass shirt on you.
That's what they do.
And if you wear the shirt,
they like, oh, he ready.
He with it.
That's you telling them like, yeah, I'm ready. And then next thing you know, you get invited to the party where the greeting is the man squeezing your.
Whoa!
I'm telling you, it's so crazy because I always tell them, like, my cousins would be like, yo, son, like, you that guy, like, what are you? I'm like, bro, I don't want it that bad.
Hurry up, man. Marry me?
Okay.
You two better smooch it up. Woo! Give her a smooch. Come on, man. Yeah.
And now you guys could only imagine the memes and the people that are saying Democrats have literally put a blind man to testify that he saw no misuse of a government funds. How is this real life? And I know some people find it funny, but it almost makes me wonder, did the Biden administration and the Democrats on purposely put a blind man to oversee all of these transfers and all of these transactions? And was this their plan all along, to just have him testify, well, I didn't see anything, so therefore I didn't see anything, it must have not happened? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past the Democrats, but yes, this is 100% true. This is not a joke. This is true. Democrats put a blind man to testify that, quote, he did not see any fraud.
Mind control has advanced to the point where they know the ins and outs of the brain and the mind so well that they know how to program not only the subconscious, but to go into the primitive mind, the very area of our mind where blinking, breathing, and circulatory, heartbeat, all that is regulated. And they could go in there and put death programs in place.
Breaking news, the woman who accused the Tate brothers of human trafficking allegedly admitted to receiving $100,000 from a USAID-funded NGO prior to filing charges. Many people forget that USAID is the same organization that Elon Musk and Doge were trying to expose for contributing to the $37 trillion in national debt. Yet, somehow the public has already moved on and acts like USAID isn't a big deal. So let me get this straight. Our hard-earned taxpayer dollars were used to manufacture clickbait around two internet personalities that most people don't even like or take seriously. Well, it actually makes sense if you understand how USAID operates. This is a textbook example of a self-serving system that creates foreign chaos only to benefit media outlets and career politicians. Meanwhile, the American people foot the bill and get nothing in return. Are you guys surprised that our taxpayer dollars were used to make clickbait by paying a chick to claim that the Tate brothers were human trafficking? I mean, nothing surprises us in 2025.
People quite literally are being disappeared. And it's not an exaggeration. I mean, I was with a 16-year-old kid. Mom and dad disappeared.
born in Ventura County and was still in school while the raid occurred.
It's getting worse. It's going to get worse.
These communities in Los Angeles, mostly Latino communities, immigrant communities, are being terrorized by these ICE agents wearing masks, throwing people into unmarked cars.
It's one thing for Trump to advance this. It's another to see Speaker Johnson and these goddamn guys just completely complicit in this moment. You know, and as he's sitting here quoting Bible verses.
Here at San Francisco's Presidio Army Base, for example, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino led a double life as a satanic high priest. The colonel's cult is listed in the San Francisco telephone book, and his phone answering machine boasts of his affiliation.
This is the Temple of Set. The temple is the only international satanic religious institution fully recognized by the United States government.
Indeed, the Army does officially recognize Satanism as a legitimate religion and supplies chaplains with this guide for ministering to the satanic soldier. Yet unofficially, some charge that Army bases have become sanctuaries for devil worshippers. Just last month, under a full moon, I took a midnight tour of the Presidio grounds with police investigator Ed Abanovsky.
Are you saying that there was a satanic cult active right here on the Army base? Yes.
Satanism may be a constitutionally protected religion, but similar to another recent case at the United States Military Academy at West Point, here charges surface connecting ritual child abuse at the Presidio Daycare Center to the devil cult.
It was here, parents and others allege, that as many as 60 young children were ritualistically abused by soldiers of Satan.
Well, the entire time that the so-called child molestation scandal was occurring at the Presidio, the time period when these terrible events were supposedly taking place, I was assigned to the National Defense University in Washington, D.C., and my wife was out there living with me.
But is it not a fact that a 3.5-year-old girl identified you as the alleged perpetrator of molestation?
No, as a matter of fact, it is not the case. An accusation was made by her stepfather, who was an Army chaplain, speaking on behalf of this child. In her original interview with the FBI, she denied ever being molested.
To start with, some Planned Parenthood clinics are already turning away Medicaid patients. In one region, they said they can't see these patients at all, even if they pay out of pocket. UCare in Minnesota just dropped 88,000 patients from Medicaid coverage. Curtis Medical Center in Nebraska, closed. Lady of the Angels Hospital in Louisiana, about to close. Garnet Health in New York laid off 42 people and cut diabetes and lung rehab services. Providence Healthcare, one of the biggest hospital chains in America, just cut 600 jobs across 7 states specifically because of these federal cuts. UC San Diego Health laid off 230 workers. Community health centers are looking at closing 1,800 locations and cutting 34,000 jobs. These are the clinics that serve the poorest communities. Think you're safe because you have private insurance? Think again. Blue Cross Blue Shield in Illinois wants to raise premiums by 27% next year. Texas Blue Cross wants 21%. Washington, Georgia, Rhode Island, all over 20%. And here's the kicker. The subsidies that help people afford Obamacare plans, those expire at the end of this year thanks to Republicans. So you're getting hit with massive premium increases and losing the help that made them affordable. So let's get this straight. Hospitals are closing, Medicaid is getting gutted, and your private insurance premiums are about to skyrocket. This isn't just poor people getting hurt, this is everyone, and it's starting now. 5 states are already calling emergency legislative sessions to figure out what to cut next. Your state could be one of the 5. This isn't some future problem. People are losing health care today, and our bills are exploding next year.
Money to obtain the promissory note. Am I hearing this right? I give you the equivalent of $200,000. You return the funds back to me, and I have to repay you $200,000 plus interest. Do you think I'm stupid?
All the banks are doing this. Congress allows this.
Because Congress allowed the banks to breach written agreements, use false and misleading advertising, act without written permission, authorization, and without the alleged borrower's knowledge to transfer actual cash value from the alleged borrower to the bank and then return it back as a loan?
The borrower got a check in the house.
Is it true the actual cash value that was used to fund the bank loan check came directly from the borrower and that the bank received the funds from the alleged borrower for free?
This is true.
Is it the bank's policy to transfer actual cash value from the alleged borrower to the bank and then keep the funds as the bank's property, which they then loan out as bank loans as if they actually own owned it and owned their own money?
Yeah.
For the temporal or secular Jesuits are not yet members of the order. They are not to do their own proper will. For the order of the Jesuits requires absolute obedience. And the secular Jesuits do not yet know that Freemasonry is under the direction of the order. The secrets and secrecy of the Masons allude to the secrets of the Nostri or Notres. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, even, by its initial J, represents the Jesuits and symbolizes the whole surface of the globe, where the Masons are not to know that they are the slaves of the Jesuits. By the way, they certainly do not know it. The word mosaic, relating to pavement, we are told is written in italics to symbolize the artifice of Moses, who knew how to blind the people of Israel to make them his partisans. The blazing star is the sun, the emblem of the order, the symbol of omnipotence. The Master Mason represents the chief of the Notres, or Nostri, and refers to the general. The four principles, the four vows of the initiated Jesuits.
So what this Masonic publication is saying is that the Masons fall directly under the Jesuits, but that only on the absolute highest levels the Masons are aware of this.
Controversy.
Faithfulness, oh God, my Father, there is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassion, they fear not. Is thy hand, thou forever will be.
Give it up, let's do it. Thank you, that was great.